Yeah, this is my cover of Ariana Grande's Into You mashed up with Stranger Things, the theme song from the hit TV show. So first things first, I did not come up with this mashup. It was this on YouTube, Cascovy, and I was just like, this is awesome. Finally, like after a couple of years, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I actually wanted to release this mashup with the premiere of the last season, but didn't get my shit together in time. It happens. So another thing I'm going to lay out from the beginning is that I use splice sounds. I totally understand there are people out there who think that using samples somehow makes you less of an artist, and I just want to say I don't agree. I'm not just a producer, I'm also a vocalist and play some different musical instruments. So for me, it's not as important to rebuild the sound every time. I am actually really inspired by samples. I think having samples from artists that you like or genres that you're really into at your disposal is really helpful, and especially through something like Spice, because I'm paying a monthly subscription fee and I get a bunch of credits each month. I never use all my credits, so I always have the ability to download stuff. They're all royalty free, they're cleared. I know that I can release them, a single or in an album, and no one's going to come sue me. So I feel good about that. I also feel good about the fact that the money is going to artists who are putting out packs and who, I'm paying for a service and I'm paying for artist services. So I feel good about it. I also feel like samples are like, if you're painting a canvas and you have a toolbox full of paints, that's kind of how I feel splices for me. So anyway, let's go back to the project file. Now that I've told you about splice, I'll show you the samples that I used. So this is the main one. This is the rising sort of arpeggiator. And then I also took this from the same sample pack. The cool thing about Splice too is that it has both a web browser version and a desktop version. I already did a search here for Stranger Things, and the cool thing about this is that you can filter with a lot of ease. Like, this is Stranger Things without any filters, right? But if I wanted to look for loops only or one-shots, like those things are going to populate in your search. There's also major key, minor key, like genres, BPM, all those things are searchable, and that's another reason why I really like Splice. So when you download from the web browser, it goes to your desktop version, and then you just click and drag. So yeah, I used these two loops are from the same pack. Then after I loaded those in, I made a second bass line to double up and make that sound really big. This is Codex. And Codex is part of a plugins bundle that I got called Waveshell. And there's a lot in here that I don't know how to use, but the stuff that I do use I love, Codex being one of them. It has a huge library of sounds and a lot of parameters you can change. You've got envelopes, you've got LFOs, and a modular matrix here. You can make it an arpeggiator and sequence if you want. And then there's the filters. There's always two different layers of sounds that are affecting the sound. And you can change the octave here. And, there's just a lot you can do with those plugins. So that's the bass line, is the Codex, and then the synth part is pretty continuous throughout my cover. It's called Element. It's also part of the Wave Shell bundle. It's an arpeggiator that's going up 1/16. Again, there's a lot of parameters that you can change on here. So those are I think these are the 4 fundamental sounds here of the song. And then I have this heart drum that I feel is like a heartbeat of the song and really adds to the anticipation of the track, sort of the like eerie feeling of like maybe somebody's coming, like footsteps, that kind of vibe. Then further into the track, when it sort of breaks down, I have this riser that I chopped up. We've got the click, which is just sort of like a hi-hat. I've got 2 subs, that one, and then this is a Sophie one. There's also this little bass kick that I put in here. And I added some trance lines towards the middle of the song. The chorus, I guess, is when they lead up. I added some trance because I've been going to a lot of raves in New York and wanted to bring it into more of like a dance zone, especially with Stranger Things being such a dark story. I thought trance would be a good mix between. This is a trance like echo that I created using some samples, but then a vocal synth plugin. And this can just like make sounds into sort of more vocal patterns, but like this particular one changed the register a lot. Like this just without it felt a little bit too, it was too forward, number one, and took away too much attention. But when you add like this layer to it, it adds a lot more atmosphere. I also added synth chord via codecs. It's just a nice little song. This one, I layered a lot of synths here. That's also codecs. That's codecs. That's codecs. The vocals right now sound really quiet because I took off the processing. Usually when I'm making a track, I'll add a lot of processing on the vocals so that I can hear what it'll sound like once it's mixed. And for this track and some other tracks, I send them off. I send the samples and stems off to someone to be mixed by Ben Lidsky out of New York. He did a great job. What I do is I'll create a separate project file and record the vocal. Like I'll bounce the instrumental, put it into the separate project file, and record there because the CPU is lower and it doesn't mess with the latency of the vocal recording. I don't know if that's like the way you're supposed to do it, but it's been working for me. Because if I try and record into a project file like this with all the effects plugins that I'm using, the latency just goes crazy. So record in there and then bring into the master. I record several takes, and a lot of times I'll take the best one that I think I did and make that the main vocal, and then I'll record again and again and make those doubling. So that's what's happening here with the verse. It's so quiet you can't really hear it, but it just adds more atmosphere and body to the vocal. My favorite part of this song is use the Volca keys, which is this one. And this is the original box for my first analog synth. This is the Volca keys. This is so old that it actually has SoundCloud stickers in it. Yay, SoundCloud! I don't hate on SoundCloud because I started in SoundCloud and it might suck now, but it didn't suck in 2013. And I met a lot of people on SoundCloud, and it just helped me so much and pushed me as an artist. So shouts out SoundCloud, I still love it. But I really love this Korg Volca keys. You can create so many weird sounds with it, and every time I make a song and then I add this, I feel like it elevates it because it brings in a warm, modular, like that sound right there is just so heavy. I love it. It has 6 octaves, 6 different synth types. It does not have an internal clock, it has a tempo knob. So that's one of the major drawbacks to this particularly. But what you can do is you can get another Volca with an internal clock, like the Volca kick over here, and then you can patch them into each other, and this will take on that clock. So that's what I've been doing, but before I would just try and match the best of my ability and then drag the sounds so that they've done me good. I love Korg Volca series because they're so approachable with price. They're like around $150 last time I checked. So really good place to start with an analog synth if you want to get into that. And it's my favorite part of the song because it feels the most unique and real, and you know, I used a lot of samples on this song, but this one is mine, and that's why I like it so much. I also made this Volca bass part is from the kick that I showed you. It's not anything exciting, but it still adds a good amount of like analog warmth to the track. I don't have a lot of space in my computer right now, so my CPU is working harder than it should. And I could be better at managing my CPU, but that's not the point of this tutorial, and don't judge me. Yeah, so that's in a nutshell this track. In the mid section, I sort of, after this line, I sort of like took a bunch of elements out. Yeah, I wanted to just accentuate the vocals and the vocal keys. Keep it simple and then build it back up. Yeah, so that's my Ariana Grande cover. I hope that you like this tutorial, whether it was the fact that I use samples or, you know, you can get into Splice. I think every artist should try to remake a song because it really helps you see the structures, like how things are working in those songs that really grabbed you. And, you know, they grabbed you for a reason. And I think that investigating that can be really fruitful as an artist. I actually am releasing the stems to everybody. There's a link in the description box below. Please download them and make anything your heart's desire. Send it to me and let me know what you made. And yeah, check out this track I made. Listen to it on Spotify, add it to your playlist, play it in the club, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You can do it too.